welcome back to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got another mystery malt that I opened in my last video. You can check that out, see what my kind of initial thoughts were and if I guessed it right, which I didn't. But this is Kingsbarn's 8-year-old, bottled at 46.3% ABV. And like I said, yeah, it's Series 5 of mystery malts release, £65 for the bottle, and I secured this from Kinnaird Head Whiskies. So yeah, I really liked this when I first tried it, and I've had it open for, what's that been, maybe maybe longer, maybe 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks I think now I've had it open. So I've had a couple drams, a few fair bits of a fair bit out of it to get a review out. So we'll get down to the nose, the palate, the finish, and see if it's a Whisky Win or a Whisky Bin, and if it holds up to those initial the initial impression. So the nose, yeah, I'm getting old banana. Definitely, like, it's very, very strong with banana. There's also like buttered oats. I don't know if you were to, I don't know why you would, maybe making kind of flapjacks or something, but melting butter and putting oats in it together, and then, I don't know, just to smell that. So yeah, quite buttery, quite oaty. It feels a little bit more punchy on the nose than it did in the initial impression. Like I say, only 46.3% ABV, but there's a little bit of a burn at the back of the throat. It's effervescent as well, which is a big word for me. Yeah, it's just maybe a little bit of greenness there, possibly like green apples or something. I just realised there's a hair on the glass, probably one of the cats or one of the dogs' hairs. Yeah, the banana element is probably the most dominant thing here. The green apples is there, but not as dominant as the banana. And it is just, it's still lovely. What else is there? Maybe a little bit of custard. It's really, yeah, it is quite pungent on the nose now that I've let it sit, which is surprising. But yeah, the nose is really lovely, like, honestly. It's, I think, first fill bourbon. I assumed it was refill bourbon when I first opened it, but it is first fill, and maybe that's a bit more obvious now with how pungent the kind of banana is, the creaminess of it. We'll get down to the palate, see what the palate has to offer. Yeah, just as good. Just as good. It's softer, I would say, than the nose. A little bit more subtle in the palate, but it's still really pleasant. I'm not going to say there's like, this isn't mind-blowing with regards to the flavour profile, the complexity of it, but it's just a nice bourbon whiskey, or bourbon matured whiskey, and just a great break from sherry. This would be a great mediator in between a kind of sherry lineup, or maybe not a peaty lineup, but definitely a sherry that's just stripped back. The palate, I'm getting Milky Bar buttons, white chocolate buttons. There's a little bit of rice as well, which is a bit weird. It's like a bit starchy. Yeah, quite unique. I don't know if I've had rice in whiskey before. It's not, yeah, it's just starchy. It's not like, I don't know, it's almost, do you know what, it's actually close to like, this is going to sound absolutely mental, it's close to like sake, almost that kind of dry rice wine taste there, like, but it's lovely. I mean, I really enjoy a sake. It's a real good palate cleanser as well, and it's just a good break from whiskey. Creamy, a little bit bitter, a little bit, I don't know, burnt. I feel like I say burnt quite a lot, but it's just a little bitter in the palate, just approaching the finish. But I think it is quite a soft, like I said, quite a subtle palate, quite a... There is maybe... the nose is fantastic. The nose trumps the palate. The palate is a bit of a... I don't want to say letdown because I am enjoying this, but it's just a bit softer. I'm trying to think if there's a sweetness to the palate. There's definitely like the nose, it is quite fizzy. It's not like sherbet because it's not that sweet, but it's something like something fizzy and a little bit bitter. I don't know what the hell that could be. I can't even think. But that's the kind of experience I'm getting, if that makes sense. Fizzy and bitter. I'm trying to think what could be fizzy and bitter. Some sort of soft drink, some sort of juice, or pop, as the English people say. Yeah, I don't know, but it's enjoyable. I'm enjoying I'm enjoying the palate, but I much prefer the nose. I want to see if there's anything else. I've once again, I've not written notes. I'm getting into a bad habit of not writing notes and just trying to blag my way through these. I want to know what that fizzy bitterness is. Maybe it's two separate things, but there's definitely a fizziness. Yeah, there's like cheap custard on the palate, like something you'd get out of a... To be honest, I think all custards come out of a packet, but like a home brand, like a store brand or shop brand custard, just really cheap, like 10p custard or something. I don't even know if that's a thing. I'm not actually a fan of custard. It's something we never have in the house, but just a really powdery, cheap custard is what I'm getting. The finish is medium. It's more just creaminess in the finish. A lot of those kind of, what are those sweets that you get? They're quite creamy. It's sort of like, it's like those strawberry swirled sweets, but without the strawberry. It's just a really creamy, it could be like a milk sweet. I'm really trying to think of like a kind of milk chew. I try to think what the brand is that do these, but they're like, it's a weird sweet. It's like a little cube or a little kind of rectangle. What's the 3D version of a rectangle? Oh my god, I don't know. Anyway, like a three-dimensional rectangle that's like a little milk drop. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm kind of getting in the palate. Quite milky. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. More greenness as well. Actually, there's that greenness in the palate throughout. Actually, it's in the nose, the palate, and the finish. The nose is definitely green apples. The palate and the finish is more kind of, I don't know, kiwi or something. But yeah, there's definitely a green freshness to it. We'll get down to the rating of this because I've kind of just rambled on a little bit. So, I have not reviewed Kingsbarn on this channel, and it's not a distillery that I have bought from. I tried their first release at the Dobie Hall way back. I think that was Dream to Dram. That must have been 8 years ago. I'm sure it was Dream to Dram. I'm sure that was their official product, and I really enjoyed that, but I didn't enjoy it enough to go and buy Kingsbarns. And I know Gary, who's a fellow Taves, fellow patron, and obviously a friend, he's right into Kingsbarns, so this is going to make me want to try more Kingsbarns, but I don't know if I want to try official Kingsbarns. Maybe they're single cask products, see what they're like, but also I would like to try more independent bottled Kingsbarns. So anyway, would I buy this again? No, and the only reason I'm saying no is because it's a typical bourbon matured whiskey that's good. Once I've had it, that's fine. It's not bad, it's not a terrible whiskey, it's just I don't need to go and buy this whiskey again. I can go buy other whiskies, other distilleries, and see what the differences are. So I wouldn't buy it again. Do I think it's worth it? Without a doubt. I think £65 great. The experience from Mystery Malt and also this whiskey is worth £65. An 8-year-old I would definitely buy this again at £65. Not buy it again. I think it's worth it at £65. That's what I was trying to say. And would I recommend it? Yeah. If you've not tried Kingsbarns, this is probably a great starter because it's not tampered by the distillery, it's not matured in sherry, it's not got any chill filtration or anything daft added to it. It's just pretty much the distillate matured in a bourbon barrel. So I think it's probably an honest expression of what Kingsbarns can produce, and to me it seems pretty solid. So I think their distillate is pretty solid. I forgot to say as well, like the palate. I might need to cut this and add it in, but the palate's really creamy and really thick, really voluptuous, because I'd mistaken it for a Clynleash or possibly Glenelgin, just because of the kind of fullness of it. So yeah, I think their distillate is quite a decent distillate. I mean, I'm no distiller, but it seems pretty good. So yeah, it's 2 out of 3. It's a Whisky Win. Sorry that was a bit disjointed. I hope you enjoyed the review. I've been Stuart, this has been Whisky Wins. I'll see you later.